Hey there everyone, Jason here from Off the Beaten Path, and this is my follow-up video for the Companion Power Station Lithium 40. This has probably been my most watched video, so I thought, and I've had a few requests for a follow-up video, so I thought it was about time. I've been using it for a few months now, and look, overall, the original comments in my original video still stand. It's an awesome bit of kit and I highly recommend it if you're looking for a very simple 12 volt setup that doesn't require any electrical wiring by an electrician or yourself for that matter if you're able to do it. So this is 40 amp hours of lithium power. My fridge is a Waco CF50 and this thing will run it for pretty much nearly 3 days without charge. So for a fridge only solution, this is awesome, and that's what I originally bought it for. As I've sort of evolved my setup over the last few months and expanded it, some of the limitations have sort of become apparent. So let me run through those. By the way, thanks to those that commented, I did figure out how to work the light. You just got to hold the button in for about 3 seconds. I'm not sure exactly how useful a light on your power supply is, but it's there. So the limitations, probably the biggest one for me is the fact that there's only one 12 volt standard cigarette lighter plug. So there is a 12 volt round plug on the end here, but that's an angle style plug. I don't actually have any devices that can utilize that plug. So only having the one there is a fair limitation. The USBs are handy to have, but I haven't really used them at all. They're something that I might use going forward. And these 12 volt plugs here for lighting, again, I haven't used those. The other limitation is there's an Anderson output, but you've got to put the power supply into a particular mode to actually use that. So that's a 12 volt from memory, maximum maybe 50 amp output. But you've got to put the power supply into a particular mode to use that. So if you're using it normally, you can't actually get power out of that Anderson output. So that's another sort of limitation. The other limitation I've found is getting power back into it. So the unit comes with 3 separate plugs that all plug into this little black and red input here. So there's one with a cigarette style plug on the end, designed to plug into any of the factory 12 volt outlets you might have in the back of your car, which is what I use. There's also an input that's designed to plug into an unregulated solar panel, which I haven't tested yet. And then there's also an input that's designed to plug into a 240 volt outlet. So the limitation there is you can only have one of those plugged in at a time. So if you want to use different inputs, so for example, if you had a solar panel on your vehicle or even a portable solar panel that you wanted to use when you got to camp, you would have to unplug the 12 volt input from the car, plug in the 12 volt input from the solar panel, and then you'd be able to utilize that. So I guess what I'm saying is this isn't really set up or designed for you to have a 12 volt panel mounted on the roof of your car and for it to decide whether it takes input from the car and the engine running via the alternator or from the solar panel on the roof. You would have to have it set up to take either or. So something I am thinking about down the track is seeing if I can get an auto elect to maybe wire up a switch or something so that they can be connected all the time and I can at least switch between them. But really those couple of little things, so the limitations on inputs and outputs are really the only things that I would say think about whether this is fit for purpose for you when you're considering buying one of these. I still think it was great value. As I think I said in my original video, I think it was 600 bucks. And for me, the lack of 12 volt, I've actually solved that by buying a port replicator from JCar Electronics, just a 1:4, and it is fused. And it does have a 10 amp outlet designed to run a fridge specifically. So that's given me 3 other 12 volt outlets that I can use to connect other devices that I'm probably not going to be running at the same time as the fridge. So Would I still buy this again? Absolutely. If I had more time and money available at the time, would I consider a more permanent setup? Look, quite possibly, but this is really portable. And for those that have watched my videos on my setup, you've seen how I've just got it strapped in. Previously to getting the drifter install, it was just strapped in on a little shelf that I made up, and now it sits strapped in on top of the drifter unit. So yeah, very easy to get in and out, pretty easy to use. And as long as those limitations on how you get power in and out of it are okay for you, I still definitely recommend the unit. So as always guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully this video answers a few of the questions that were left unanswered by the first video I did. And if you like the content, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. Thanks again.